Hi everyone! Today we're making a home-baked apple pie, Dutch apple pie to be specific. What we want to make is a plain and simple apple pie. No strange things like apricots or almonds, and we're not going to try to make something that seems like it's made by a professional pastry bakery. Instead, what we want to do is this home-baked, authentic feel. The little imperfections are actually what makes the apple pie nice. So before we start, I first want to walk you through the ingredients. Most of the recipes out there on the internet for a Dutch apple pie are actually in Dutch, or the ones that are in English, they're not really Dutch apple pie. So what we want to make here is real Dutch apple pie. But we're making this in English, so I'm assuming my audience may not be in the Netherlands. Actually, while I'm baking this pie myself, I'm not in the Netherlands. I'm shooting this video here in Singapore. So some of the challenges that you'll run into is that not all the ingredients may be available. So maybe let's start with the most important ingredient of an apple pie. Apples. If you look in the Dutch recipes for apple pie, you'll see lots of Dutch kind of apples like Jonah Gold and Elstar and other Dutch brands. But if you're in a city like Singapore, those brands are not easily available. So how do we choose our apples? First and most importantly, we need to get a strong apple. And then there's the taste of the apple, but that's more a matter of personal preference. I like a bit sweeter, some other people might like a little bit more sour. So we need to find something that fits with our taste and that's strong enough. So today I have apples from Korea, a bit on the sweeter side because I like sweet. And these are Fuji apples, and that's what we're going to bake with today. Other ingredients that we need. If you look at a Dutch recipe, you'll see something that in Dutch is called bastardsuiker. Bastard sugar. No, that's not a proper translation. What we really need is caster sugar. That's how it translates. And if you know that, it should be easily available. Other important things are butter, good cream butter. This one is from France, Président, but you could find other ones as well. I'd recommend to choose a good butter. Good butter makes all the difference for your apple pie. Important to have is cinnamon. I have two kinds of cinnamon here. This is the Dutch cinnamon. This is Indonesian cinnamon. This one is easily available here. This one I got from the Dutch apple shop, Dutch expat shop. This one is a bit more coarse grained. This one, the Dutch one, is a bit more fine grained. If this is the only one I would have available today, I'd use this. But since I have the more fine-grained one and I like it, I'm going to use the fine-grained apple pie. We need vanilla, and normally you'd use vanilla sugar. Due to the COVID-19 crisis at the time of shooting this video, I could only get vanillin, not vanilla powder. It's a subtle difference in naming, but these differences matter. Vanillin powder, we learned that it becomes really bitter when you bake it. So in the absence of proper vanilla powder, we're using vanilla oil today. And what you also need is flour. This is self-raising flour. You can just use plain flour. I'll put the amounts under the recipe in the description. If you don't have self-raising flour, you can use regular flour and just add a bit of baking powder. That will work too. Eggs and the butter need to be room temperature. Room temperature here in Singapore is often 27, 28 degrees. It's warm here in the kitchen. When we talk about room temperature, actually we're talking about Dutch room temperature, which is more like 20 degrees Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit. This one might be a little bit on the soft side, a bit on the hot side, but we can work with this. All right, time to get started. We add all the ingredients together: 400 gram flour, 200 gram butter, a pinch of salt and the egg. We take a spoon of vanilla oil and add 200 gram of sugar and mix it all together until it's a good substance that we can make into a ball. We need to use our hands a bit to actually form that ball. That ball we put aside and we peel the apple. You can use some help from your family if you have that luxury. And then we need to, of course, put some butter in the form, in the cake form. We divide the ball of dough in 3 equal pieces. We make a circle that can fit into the shape for the cake, cut it in 4 and lay each quarter into the shape. Next, we're going to make the sides. So we need to form strips of dough. And we can use a ruler to measure it correctly. I know the ruler is probably not proper kitchen gear, but I am not a professional cook, so I do what works for me. And a ruler is quite practical in this case. Once done, we make sure the shape is well filled and fix all the holes with the little pieces of leftover. We've added some breadcrumbs that can take the excess fluids from the apple. And then we add sugar and cinnamon to the apple. Finally, we need the topping. So again, I need my ruler. We make thin lines. It's okay if they don't look so nice. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And using the ruler is a good way to take up this, all the pieces of dough and put them on top. And we want to cover this with some egg, some beat egg, just to give this nice gold shiny color over it. And then we're going to put it in the oven next. Put it in for roughly an hour, well, 180 degrees probably, depending on your oven. I started at 170. This oven is new to me, so I'm still trying out to figure out what works best. And then you can put it a bit longer. Take it out of the shape and cut it, and here you see the result of the apple pie that we've been baking. I hope you like this recipe. Follow my channel if you'd like to see more recipes like this. Thank you for watching.